Previously on Homeland.
Who's in charge here?
Are you with her? We're trying. We're sorry. Our mine infused the coffers of firebends.
You come up with me right now. We bulldoze that building to the ground.
Who's with me? What's that?
You haven't been doing a very good job leading.
We have to go.
No, you have to go, Auntie.
You're just like your mother.
We need her. She knows where Bashira is.
Sorry, Zhang. You're right. We need to stick together. It's kind of more like something she's done before where the earth is kind of giving away a bit.
Lands into it.
And you've trapped her.
Khan, are you having a bit of a bad day at the moment?
Stay back, Tariq. You'll get burned.
The fire is getting out of control. Roll, push your luck.
And now.
That's
Five.
a 5.
6, 7.
With my help.
With some help.
You can't do it by yourself. You need me.
6, 7.
And then Ash
7.
1, 7.
Yeah.
Oh, then I don't need help.
She doesn't
do it
need
yourself.
you.
No.
Great.
Can I have my dice
Yeah.
back though? It fell
You need
across.
to. That's good because I think you're tired. Aren't
Oh, I would have put myself a 5 fatigue to help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, bother.
I push my luck.
You push your luck and you roll a 7. So you just make it. This is going to cost and it's going to be fun
Yes.
because
You want $50 now, Chris.
because what it costs you is relying on your training and your tradition.
Oh.
You stand exactly like your mother did yesterday in the middle of a piece of construction that is on fire, like as a direct result of your actions. And it hits you that that's what you look like right now to Tariq. In fact, he and your mother probably stood about this same space from each other just yesterday. Except in the middle of pouring rain, you're now in the middle of hot sun. There's a piece of glass in the corner of the room and you catch yourself and your hair and your clothes look nothing like your mother, but your face and your expression do. And the stances that you begin to do, the bending that you take on mirrors hers. And it mirrors hers with purpose because she is an excellent bender. And you need that now. The fire calms and stops. The town is safe. And I am shifting you off balance.
I'm off balance.
Wow.
Your tradition.
Not in the way we thought you would go.
No.
What a great turnaround. Progress.
Woo! That's what happens when the past comes crawling back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The more you dive into the characters, the more the inattention should be apparent.
Yesterday I was almost overbalanced for trust, and today I'm almost overbalanced for self-reliance.
Yeah, and that's it. Like it's supposed to be one, then the other. And if you're always going like, oh, I always keep going in this one direction, then it's like you should pick a different playbook.
I'm on +2 survival now.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the season picks up and the melodrama increases, it should get swingier and
Yeah, absolutely. Kana, you've lost your balance.
Yes.
The building is in ruins. There are char marks everywhere and smoke fills the room. A young waterbender with his shirt off, with tubes of water surrounding him on his body and on his person, has not lifted a finger to help necessarily. He's comforted you. He's been a friend. He's been a support. But you've done the work. You are the one who has total control over fire. And if you choose to burn down your family's possessions, if you choose to return them to fire, that's your prerogative. You're the successor. You get to determine the fate of your family's empire. And you kicked your aunt out not because she was mean, but because she was frivolous and was weak. And it's a lesson your mother's taught to you. Shift your center towards tradition by 1 point. Return your balance to that 1. So you begin each day at +1 tradition, and you are obsessing over this principle. So, the options are from the book that you give in or submit to your opposition. There isn't an opposition here. lose control of yourself in a destructive and harmful way,
That's what I did by insulting everyone.
Yeah.
or take an extreme action in line with the principle, then flee.
That's a lot. That's a lot to mull over.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to help brainstorm it, we're all here to help.
I'm unsure what a extreme action in line with the principle would be,
What are the traditions
because
of
the
your
tradition
family?
would be to stand your ground, and might equals right. Which is counterintuitive to them fleeing.
Well, I could imagine, for example, like it's that big dramatic moment where she's like, I'm sorry, hugs, and then, tries to, like the way I would imagine it, for example, tries to quell it, realizes she can't, uses her mother and what she's learnt to then bring it all in, and in that moment realizes
She can control it.
and then does it anyway. Like burns it to the ground. Like that's extreme. That's adhering to the tradition side. And it's like she's tipped over the edge. And it's that dramatic thing of stopped it. No, actually.
My suggestion was to take command of the town and be like, right, I'm in charge now. As you said to your aunt, this is I'm taking over. This is hostile takeover. Right. You guys are now mining on my behalf and the Earth Kingdom's behalf, and this is what you're going to do and become the de facto governess for while you're here. That could be one thing.
I was thinking of her being like, this is my run now, and I run things different.
Yeah,
but
it's-
still is a leader.
It's very tricky, hey, because you've been pushed in a way that, we did not expect your character to go. And so it's like everything I'm thinking of, it's like, oh, she is self-destructive to herself, but that's so counterintuitive to your family's tradition. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
You could cave in the mine entrance. That's destructive.
I was thinking attacking the mine or some way.
That's extreme, like, because those, when you just extreme or destructive, it doesn't say in line with your principle. It's just something cathartic.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do something, you can do something extremely with your principle and then run away.
Right.
Or you can just lash out in some kind of
I guess it depends
abstract
how
way.
she feels about being like her mother, if it's something that kind of disgusts her or like makes her afraid of what she might become, then you might pick that one. But if it's something that you acknowledge, like, this is where my strength came from, then you're probably looking to take an extreme action in line with the principle.
I'll give a suggestion from the TV series. When Azula loses control and loses her balance towards the end of book 3, she starts cutting her hair and then seeing her mother in the mirror. That is her moment of losing control. It isn't necessarily destructive, but she does banish people who have been loyal to her. She begins to get incredibly paranoid, and she is not inherently violent, but is destructive. It is harmful to the people around her and to herself. So maybe you have accepted the help of, a friend, and then done it yourself and gone, get off, that rejecting that entirely. And now you hold yourself with greater poise and traditional and wearing traditional clothing or taking from this place what you can and wearing it instead.
Mine was just easy. I was just mad at everyone.
Just go blow off some steam. I think because of yours as the prodigy, there's like such consequences to
The
it.
successor.
The
Yeah.
Even
successor,
worse.
yeah.
Okay, here's, I think, a really easy way for you to navigate it as you. Think about your character's mother. If your character's mother came across your aunt acting that way, what would she do?
She'd just take over.
Great. So I think that's your answer. I think that you just take over and that you're playing heroes, that this takeover doesn't have to be permanent. You can be talked out of it. And it's acknowledging that this is an extreme action in line with principle. Or you can take an extreme action in line with the principle and then flee. You can lose yourself in a destructive and harmful way.
For me, that would be destroying the building. That would just be like,
Yeah.
But
letting
that
loose.
was my initial...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like
we
he
can circle
realizes,
back to
There's a
that.
few-
realizes, I actually can do it because I am like my mother in some ways. Burn it to the ground.
It's an empowerment in a way.
I think that's right then.
It feels right for the
Yeah.
character, whereas like taking over doesn't.
Yeah, because it was really simple. That's what I like about yours,
Yeah.
Sean. It's
Okay.
really simple.
The embrace happens, and Kana begins to try and quell the fire, pushing it, feeling like it's gotten out of control, feeling herself push past her resistance points to them regain the fire in the same way that her mother does, in that her mother always gains control. The fires dull back into an ember. She turns to Tariq and says, "No. This building needs to be destroyed. Tariq, it's mine to do with what I want, and I think it needs to go up in flames. Leave."
Tariq will take a moment and will look dead into Kana's eyes and just see a steely resolve, and that you're not going to get swayed. There is no point. He did it. He saw her almost take it and then double down. And without a thought, without replying to you, he draws the water back under his feet and, not leaving eye contact with you, leaves the building and then breaks eye contact and goes down to Zhang.
So I'm going to make a quick amendment to that. You aim to do that within time, but she's already lost control.
Cool.
The calm before the storm is seconds.
Great.
So she tells you to get out.
In which case, this would be more of a panicked thing. It's more of a, as soon as she says, "Get out,"
Yeah.
his eyes widen. His eyes widen as he sees the flames start to come, and he bolts for the window.
As you are nearly out the window, the room explodes with fire.
Yeah.
Fire bursts out from each window. This is a firebender taking on their right, their place in the world. And it's terrifying. I'm going to inflict afraid.
Yeah, cool. Absolutely.
That tracks.
That seems right.
Yeah.
On the outside of the city, of the village rather, the two Earth Kingdom citizens have trapped a woman in the earth and are interrogating her when suddenly an explosion from behind.
What was that? What's going on back there?
See what you've done? See? You've turned her. She used to be so kind.
We don't know that was her.
Oh, who would it be? Quiet you.
I thought she was on your side.
She's on her own side now. She's on her mother's side.
I don't believe that for a second. Her mother is cruel and vicious. She hates her.
And she hates just like her mother hates.
I said quiet. Unless it's to tell me where I can find General Bashira. Unless you want to be suffocated in that sand.
Roll intimidate.
It's pretty
If you
intimidating.
can make it sink like ever so slightly.
Yeah,
when
I can
say
help.
that.
I don't want to roll intimidation because I am afraid still. So yeah, I'm just going to be
Yes.
backing you up and just watching her.
Okay, I'm not any of those. I'm troubled, so that's fine. That doesn't
Yeah.
affect. And intimidate is... Oh, I'd get plus if I was angry, but I'm not. I need to get angry somehow. Intimidate NPC roll with passion. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On a 10 plus, first, you pick one that they cannot choose. Okay, so there are 4 options, and I get to pick one that I strike from Lady Tomoe, and then
Yes.
she can pick one of those.
That's right.
Well, she can't really run to escape.
I'm looking at the list of what's presented here, and this is a narrative thing. I just wanted to see how well it was. It was
Yeah.
a good roll, so let's just roll with it rather than
Yeah,
interrogate
yeah.
that.
'Cause
That's excellent.
She's kind of trapped in other ways as well. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What do you want from her?
I want to know where General Bashira is.
General Bashira, he came through. He gave me this
Why did he give it to you?
because he had other things to do.
What? What are his plans?
Where
Where
has
is
he
going?
gone?
It's a Gaipan village
Gaipan Village, where is that?
to the northeast, just over this mountain range. We're supposed to supply them with weapons and ore.
How many? And what do they intend?
They intend to take Gaipan and then launch a siege on Ba Sing Se.
Oh.
This is the front for it.
Okay, I think we definitely lock eyes because I didn't realize it was as big as this.
This is the staging ground. That's what they're planning for. They plan to launch the entire invasion from here.
How are they going to siege Ba Sing Se?
I don't know.
I'm just an artist.
I thought that
But
city
just-
was impenetrable.
Doesn't it have
Three
sets
walls?
of walls? That's
Have
why I
you
lost
met Bashira?
once.
He laughs at your walls.
That sounds like him.
And I intend to stifle that laugh once and for all.
Good luck.
What are we going to do with her?
I don't know that that's our decision to make.
That's wise. The townspeople that she attempted to oppress will know what they want to do for justice.
At this moment, Tariq, you appear to the group. To
Ah.
these.
So yeah, Tariq stumbles forward. His pants, there are holes. You can see burn marks on his body, and he just like kind of stumbles a few steps forward, and then stumbles to his knees and to the floor.
Tariq! And Clove is going to run right up to him and start kind of trying to check him and assess him and turn him. Are you on your knees or on the floor?
He's like on the floor.
Yeah, yes. Okay, she's going to turn you around and try and kind of assess what's happened. Obviously, she can see that you're burnt.
And he flinches for a moment.
You're okay. You're okay. What happened?
There, I tried. Oh man, I tried, but it was too fire. Kana,
Is Kana okay?
that is a difficult question to answer.
I see you got your sense of humor back.
But I lost a few hairs in the process. And he flinches and puts himself onto his back and sitting up so he can look back at the burning building. She burned it down. I tried to stop her. I tried to talk her down, and I almost did.
She burnt it on purpose.
She incinerated it. I barely got out. Whoa, I could have died.
Again. There was the time when you got hit on the head and you nearly drowned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Again. You nearly died again.
What? I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's gone.
At that moment, she comes towards you.
Kana!
Stay back.
She will take the earrings out of her ears. Here.
The earrings hit the floor. The dust and sand.
I got us some resources.
Clove just like bursts out laughing at like how ridiculous this all is. It kind of like falls to her. Like it's kind of maniacal. And like, but she does find it funny, but it is a little like she's been pushed a bit too much today.
Yeah.
We found out where Bashira went.
Yeah, we did. He's gonna siege Basing Sir.
He's going to what?
He's going to try and siege Basing Sir.
Are you going to be okay? We saw that explosion from here.
My auntie said that it was a Hoshi building. So I had to get rid of it.
Okay then. Well, we were going to let the town decide what to do with your auntie. If she's been cruel, they might not be merciful with her.
She has been cruel. Leave her to the town.
And you start walking down away?
Yeah, I'm going to try help
Tariq.
Tariq to his feet and kind of... I don't really have anything that's going to help him, but
That's fine.
she
Yeah.
kind of just...
Tariq puts an arm over your shoulder to accept the help, and he had clamped shut since Kana walked up, and his eyes kind of like has not left her, and you can see a fear and a distrust, even though he doesn't comment on it, and he accepts the help.
I really hoped you were going to sleep in her bed tonight.
You walk away from the village. If this was the TV show, the framing would be the four of you walking away off the hill and a small little head wiggling around saying, "Help! Oh, villagers! Dig me up!" So the villagers seem frowny-faced.
Yeah.
And we smash cut to her in the mines, digging precious jewels.
Yay! be
I would
justice.
imagine it would be imprisoning or something
Yeah.
humiliating.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
her and the 2 Fire Nation guards are all digging out precious metals.
Well, this bucket's so much better. Instead of putting water in it, you put rocks in it. Sorry.
It can hold anything.
Quiet, you two. And that's the episode. So, time for some growth.
This is getting so
Melodramatic.
Every episode.
I'm going to start with Kana.
I like this tradition of like if you lose your balance on an episode, you have to answer the questions
Yeah,
first.
makes sense.
All right.
At least
Ask away, Chris.
Let's see if you grew. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Yes.
Like what, for instance?
It's this mine was mine, and that the holdings go to the Hoshi family. I don't even know if she knew about mining. It's just all military from her viewpoint.
There's
Well,
money.
it's just money. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a privilege. You don't really ask where the money comes from. It just does. It just has.
the colonies that your family was establishing were going to benefit you in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a military family.
Yes.
Yep. So I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I think you did. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? I'm going to say
No.
I'm going to say yes, you did.
Well, she was a threat, but also a building destroyed.
I don't think
Is it
Kana
you?
did. I think
actually,
others did.
I agree.
Yeah.
Sean, I think that's quite right. No, I think you didn't actually.
I think we did it despite Kana.
Yeah. I ousted her, but
Yes.
she could have come back.
That's
Yeah.
right. Did you guide a companion towards balance or end your session at your center?
At my new center.
You did.
Yeah.
So yes, that is a point.
Oh, wow. My new
Yeah, as long
center.
as you have time to recover, you return to your center and clear.
Yeah.
everything.
I'm here
Yeah.
for a technicality.
And no, that's as intended.
works. Yeah.
That's as intended. And the final one, your personal one. Would you like to read it out?
Did I learn something meaningful or important about my lineage, its members, or its effects on the world and others? Yes.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Even
Sure
your nice
did.
auntie is willing
Despicable.
to enslave people.
It's almost like once you get to a certain point of privilege, it's inescapable that horrendous things would have happened to benefit you.
It's also the Chris special, a presenter character you really like and then flip them.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Serving up the Chris special.
There is no ethical consumption under capitalism after all, especially if your family's literally a military war
Yes.
machine.
Yes.
Colonizing.
At war.
Colonizing military machine. There is no way that you come into money and or hidden knowledge without it being tainted.
Yeah.
So that's quite a few points, Ellen. That's 3 points of growth.
Sure is.
And you are at how many advancement points?
Now I'm at 2 advancement
Amazing.
points.
Fantastic. Sean,
Hello.
how has Tariq gone? Has he learnt something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Yeah, the biggest threat to this whole mission might be Kana.
Wow, that is
Oh.
a pretty interesting and challenging thing. Yeah, and that the Fire Nation is not above using seemingly sweet people and,
Yeah.
and turning them.
Yeah.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
Yes, with the miners, I helped them out and helped them retake their place, their village.
You were instrumental.
You're absolutely instrumental. Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center?
No.
No.
I was at +2 survival and I did not. I tried to help people and failed.
And the last question is your own.
Yes, I did, because myself and Kana, as we did indulge in the bad habits, and I got her to do it with me, which is to do the Daredevil
yes.
acts.
Very good.
I remember.
So how many advancement points do you have?
So that was a 3.
That
which
was?
now puts me on 3.
There we
3
go.
advancement, because I was on 2 points, 1 growth. So with the 3 today, puts me at 3 points.
Very good. Let's go to Clove.
Hello.
Clove, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
No, I don't think she did today.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
I think you did.
Oh,
I think we
what was
both
that?
learned the same challenging thing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
the war is not just a little incursion
Oh
into
my
our
God.
land,
I can't believe I just
But-
forgot that.
but that the Fire Nation intends to
Siege
siege Big
Say.
Ba Sing Se.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is huge
The-
about the world.
The Eternal City.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah,
that
very good point.
absolutely is very challenging, because we thought we were just going on a mission to avenge your father, essentially. But no, now we're stopping the Fire Nation from taking
Or at least,
Ba Sing Se.
at least warning people
Do
of
it
their
so-
plans.
we're part of this, though.
Part of it now, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I will absolutely take that. That is so true.
Completely slipped my mind.
Just happened.
Another question for you there, Clove. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
I'm going to say yes. Because I put Ellen's auntie in the ground. Not literally. Well, actually, no, literally.
Yeah, literally.
What is her name again?
Tomoe.
Lady Tomoe. Yeah.
Lady Tomoe. Yes, you did put Lady Tomoe in the soil.
Yeah, that's a nicer way of
You
saying
put her away.
Yeah.
In the ground. I mean, in the soil. I mean,
In the mine.
buried her. I mean,
You grounded her.
very good. Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center?
No,
No.
I'm very off balance.
Okay.
Thankfully, we're going to have a nap and reset that because
Yes.
things were looking a bit hot here for
Yeah, they
self-reliant Clove.
The last thing I'm going to ask is your personal one.
Yes. Did you pursue a desire or goal of your own outside of protecting others? No.
No.
I
You're
did
very
not.
much in the war arc currently.
We're waiting for that Clove solo episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where she goes and I don't know, takes up knitting or something.
Just
You'll get
improves her earthbending.
Yeah.
You know, develops her skills in some way. Something like
Yeah,
that.
very specifically.
Learns more about herbalism. Something that's your
not
own
like
personal thing.
because she
yeah.
has been growing her earthbending a lot, but it's always in line of protecting others.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And so that I had 2 growth points. So with those 2 added, I now have 3 advancement
Wow.
points
Yeah,
as
we're the
well.
same.
Great.
So I'm like almost ready to purchase.
Level
spend
up.
some of them.
Yeah, you've got to.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to, but it'd be good
We
if you
should.
did. You
Yeah,
should.
we should.
And Phil as Shang.
Shang.
Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Yeah, the Siege of Ba Sing Se is about to happen.
Not about to happen.
They're preparing for it.
They seem to. What
The
was said to you-
invasion, the scale of the invasion is far, far greater than we thought. It's
Yes.
not just carving a few little bits off the coast.
No.
They're heading for the heart.
Yes, they are using this as a launching place.
It's huge.
And it puts things in perspective.
This is the
Burning-
end game of the war almost.
Burning down Senlin village is not just random acts of violence.
It's clearing a path
There you go.
for an army.
Securing a mine is not just getting precious metals, it's...
Supply lines.
Shane?
Did you stop a dangerous
Also, I learned
threat
something.
or solve a community problem?
I mean, I helped grab Tomoe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was part of the whole
my role,
revolution
yeah,
thing.
I think my role wouldn't have worked without your help. So
Yeah.
Technically,
I'll
yes.
say yes. And did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center?
I'm not at my center. I was moved towards force at some point. I can't remember what did that, but I did move towards force. So I'm not at center. I tried to appeal to my friend's balance, but it ended up just shaming them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no.
So no.
No.
And last question on yours is your personal one. Did you get closer to your target?
Yes. Did you make progress towards your goal against your adversary? I located him. I
Yes,
know his
you did.
path and his goal.
Yes.
What was the
So,
name of the
yes.
place that we're heading towards now?
Guy Pan. Am I right?
Guy Pan.
Yes.
Yes.
Go Brain.
Gaipan. In the TV series, it's the village that Jet seeks to solve.
Don't like Jet.
solve wink.
Solve Flood.
Yes. Okay. I was like, hang on. He didn't help anyone.
2 advancement points with 1 growth left over.
Very good. You rest, which means that you can erase 2 points of fatigue off your sheets. You reset.
Oh, good.
You reset back to balance, wherever that may be, and you can go one way or the other. And we'll see everyone on the next episode.
You have been listening to Homeland, which is a Roll to Cast production. The best way to find us is on Twitter, Discord, and our Patreon. All our podcasts are on Acast, Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Roll to Cast. Avatar Legends, the role-playing game, was created by Magpie Games. Nickelodeon, Avatar, and all related titles, logos, and characters are trademarks of Viacom International Incorporated.
Oh, yeah.
Is that picking? That will.
Yeah, I was
That
giving it a
will
second.
definitely pick up.
Getting there. Moving your
Yeah, I'm really
balance.
surprised how much you've been able to move.
Yeah,
Me.
that's been a big thing for me as well.
Yeah, because she was so steadfast for the first like 2 seconds.